Aligning yourself on the right path spiritually is not an easy thing to do, right? Now, I've spoken before, every man has his vices. Every man has his thing that he's being afflicted by, right? A guy who is susceptible to thinking about revenge all the time, he is also susceptible usually to not letting things go. He might be susceptible to wrapping himself up in endless conflicts with people because he doesn't learn to simply just let things go, right? So you want to be careful about that, but in general, when we talk about aligning yourself on the right spiritual path, it's not easy and it's not for everyone, right? And like I said before, every man has his vices, right? Sometimes you might be speaking to a guy who's susceptible to other things, who's susceptible to greed, right? Where he just wants to gather resources, right? Where he's susceptible to gluttony, where he just wants to indulge himself in all the time. He doesn't want to work, right? He's susceptible to jealousy, right? And there's nothing you can tell these people, right? Some people, you can go to a guy who's susceptible to feeling jealous and you can explain to him, hey man, it's not logical for you to be feeling that way. Wouldn't you feel better if you got rid of that feelings? I mean, he would, but it's part of his personality. He doesn't control it. You know what I mean? You can't judge people based on their vices because more than likely those guys will be able to pinpoint a vice on you as well. You are also susceptible to a certain vice. It may not be the same as the guy you're talking to, but you also have your own flaws that you're susceptible to, right? So it's something to keep in mind. Every guy has his vices. And when we talk about the concept of aligning yourself on the right spiritual path, we're talking about taking the time to learn about yourself, right? I learned a lot of things about myself when I was trying to align myself spiritually. I asked myself the question, what do I have a track record of doing in my life, right? Because when someone has a track record of doing something in their life, it's usually not by mistake. It's usually that they have thoughts about doing it a lot, right? And I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, what do I have a track record of doing? What do people call me out on a lot that they don't think is that great, right? More than likely, you will also have a quality that someone will actually call you out on a lot. And it's not easy to take something you're not susceptible to and control yourself and say, hey, I'm going to learn when to say no. I'm going to learn to not let my desires control me.